Hello everyone, and welcome back to another installment of Dr. D's Top 10. Wait, what? Oh, this isn't a Top 10 video? Oh, sorry, my mistake. Well, let's try it a little different then. Okay, hey everyone, Dr. D here. And for this video, I'm going to do something a little special. It's special because I don't usually make videos like this. It's going to be kind of like a vlog, but vlogs usually have a video, so this is just going to be a blog with, an audio recording. So let's give it a shot. Alright, so as most of you know who watch my channel and who are interested in DDR in the first place, or any other Konami games, KAC 2013, also known as KAC, or more formally, Konami Arcade Championship, just happened last week, and I had the rare and wonderful opportunity to join them, representing the Asian region. Sorry. So I just wanted to go ahead and talk to you about how my trip went, what I saw, what I did, and just give you some details from my perspective. And I'm going to go ahead and show you some photos from the trip I took myself. Unfortunately, I didn't take that many photos, but I hope that some of them are adequate, if you will. So without further ado, let's get started. So pretty much, just like last year, I entered KAC, and I qualified for the DDR division, of course. I would like to try Sound Voltex because I love that game, but I kind of suck at that. I'll stick to feet games. So anyways, this year I qualified number 1 in the region, which was necessary because they only let the top person from the Asian regions to proceed to the Konami Japan Championship. So that was good. It was a close match, but I still got it. And after that, of course, I was doing some training. I was mostly training at home, trying to play some ITG and really beef up my skills for the event. So pretty much it was coming down to December, and as for my flight, it was from December 21st until December 23rd. That's the time I was in Japan. And let's see, what happened first? Well, on my birthday, December 19th, I was starting, just to train more. And that's like the first day I kind of started feeling a little unwell. But I'll definitely get into more details later. But at that time, I did notice a little red bump on my leg. Maybe some kind of bug bite. And I also did notice that I might have been having throat problems, like bronchitis, which is something that kind of reoccurs with me every year. But either way, I was just like, why does it have to happen now? And of all times I can get sick, and all the weeks I've been healthy in a row, why do I have to get sick now? Regardless, time goes on, and whether you're ready or not, you gotta prepare the best you can. So, yeah, Friday came along, which was the 21st, and I took my flight to Japan. And there's not too much to say on that day because, well, I had a pretty late afternoon flight. We got into Japan, and we had to wait for the other Asian regions to join us from Singapore, and the other one was Hong Kong. And we were kind of held up a long time because the Singapore flight was delayed quite a bit. So pretty much most of my Friday was hanging out in Narita Airport. But we all eventually grouped up and we went to the hotel, and it was pretty late. I didn't get dinner, and we went to an arcade at afterwards, and I didn't really play any DDR, and I only played one round, and the one round I played, the machine crashed. So how's that for good luck? At that time they were just releasing a couple new songs, and it had a kind of a bit of a glitch when it came to playing them sometimes. So anyways, that was my Friday night. And on Saturday night, wow, I'm skipping around. On Friday night, I tried to go to sleep early, get my sleep schedule correct because Japan's a little bit of a time difference. But when I went to sleep, I ended up waking up over 10 times in the middle of the night. And it wasn't because of my cough, even though, my throat and my cough, but that was still kind of bad. But it was because of that little red bump I was telling you about. Pretty much, it started getting really painful. And every time I'd roll on my left side, because it's on my left leg, obviously, it would hurt quite a bit. So, yeah, it wasn't too fun. I woke up about, like I said, 10 times throughout the night, and it gave me very little sleep. So I woke up on Saturday not feeling too well, and it just had a lot of pain. So I tried to ignore it, and I just said, hey, whatever the pain is, you got to do your best tomorrow because whatever it is, it's only going to be a few songs. So I don't care how much I hurt, just play it as best you can. And Saturday progressed. I got some, I got a nice lunch, and then I went ahead to another arcade to play some DDR. I met a really cool player that we played together with, and I heard about the other events for the guitar and the drums, and my roommate, who's from Singapore, he got second place in Dance Evolution, which was pretty neat. So on in the evening, we all met up. We had dinner, and after that, my memory's a little fuzzy, but I just remembered that I was trying to just rest my mind and trying to rest my body so I can get prepared for Sunday, which Sunday was my tournament in the morning. So let's go ahead, skip a little more. I go to sleep on Saturday night, and again I got some pretty bad sleep, mostly because of the leg. But this time it's not like I woke up a lot of times. It's I woke up one time and I couldn't fall asleep for 2 hours. So that really cut into my sleep schedule on Saturday night. And by the time I woke up on Sunday, and I know I said Sunday night, but I meant Saturday night. But by the time I woke up on Sunday, my leg was really hurting to the point where I had a little funny walk to my step, or a funny step to my walk. Which one is correct? Anyways, doesn't matter because I was walking funny. But like I said, I had to ignore the pain because I knew the day was pretty important. We went ahead, arrived at the game center, and it was really interesting. They had a pretty neat setup. It looked pretty official. They rented out a huge room for the event. And when I got there, I saw all the other competitors, all the people, well, all the people you guys already know, Ringo and Brozani, and some other people that I've known about, but I've never got to meet them. So that was really interesting. They handed us a packet, pretty much a packet in Japanese, just explaining the rules and stuff. Obviously, I couldn't read it, but they did have all the songs posted on all the pages, and the question on everyone's mind: what are the qualifiers? Now, the best that they could guess, they were thinking the qualifiers were going to be, I remember they said Spanish Snowy Dance Challenge, and I want to say that they were right. They either said go for the top challenge or triple journey challenge. And the reason why they chose that is because even though they didn't say the qualifiers before, they did say what songs we can choose later. And those were two songs that weren't listed on the songs that we can choose later. So they said, hey, they're probably the qualifiers. And I think they got one of them right. So, okay. They explained the rules. They said how we should be when we're on camera, yada yada, stuff like that. And then pretty much it was game time. We all got up on stage, and they announced the two songs were Go for the Top Challenge and what was the other one? Yeah, Triple Journey Challenge, which is a terrible pick for me because I have only played that song once before. But enough about me. We all had a seat and we all took turns doing the first song, Go for the Top. I did rather poorly, but as I said, my leg was really kind of hurting at that point. And right before the match, they did buy me some ice packs, or I don't know, it gives you the ice. It's like Icy Hot. If you guys know what Icy Hot is, but it was like a sticker of Icy Hot. They put that on there, and I know now that actually made things a lot worse, and it made me have a lot more pain later. But I put that on beforehand, and yeah, I went up and I played my song. And what did I get? Like 1777 or something, which was pretty low tier compared to the other 16 players. And so we played it, and the obvious people did really well. And then we had to do the Triple Journey song, which was next. So I tried looking at it the first few times that it came up because, like I said, I only played it once before. You can even check my Konami website ID. It tells you how many times you've played a song. Mine only says twice, once before and once for the tournament. And And then it was my turn. And if you know me, I always need a good warm up before I play hard stuff. And obviously, you can't really get a warm up before you play there. So I played the best I could. I didn't give up, and I tried the hardest I could in my current state. And in the end, I guess I did all right. When I think about how I was feeling and how I did, I really am not that disappointed. I know some of you expected me to do a lot better. Some of you expect me to do a lot worse. In my situation, I think I did all right. I do. I'm not gonna, be hard on myself because how I felt and how I tried is pretty much the best I could do at that moment, and I have no regrets. Well, the only regret is being in the hurt position I was in. I'm thinking if I was playing at the top of my game, I probably still wouldn't even get top four. I must admit the top four players really stood out. At best, I could probably have gotten five or six, and that would have been a nice icing on the cake. But eighth place is not bad, which is what I got. Alright, so this is already, what are we at? Wow, we're at 11 minutes. I didn't expect it to be this long, so let's hurry this up. Where are we going to go from here? Well, after the tournament, Ringo was number one, Gaho got number two, Brozani got number three, and Yoshimiz got number four. If you guys have been following the other KACs before, the first time they did it, Brozani was the winner. Second time, Gaho got it last year. And then this time is Ringo. So I think it's kind of nice. Every year it's kind of different. And it shows you that it's not just one person dominating the whole field. And I did tell a lot of people for a long time that, you know what? Ringo's going to take it this year. I just had that good feeling. Because I guess whenever I'm playing and I'm looking at the records and stuff, I've noticed that Ringo's really stepped up his game recently. And I kept telling everyone, you know what? Ringo's going to take it this year. He really, really wants it. And anyone who's watched the live stream or seen the video on YouTube, you can tell how important this match was to him. So I really want to just say real quick, congratulations to the top four players. They really played unbelievably. And I'm really glad I was able to be there and witness it. And I was really glad to be able to, meet and talk with all the great other players there as well. Alright, so as you've all saw, it ended, and after that they let us go upstairs to a room. They had free lunch and free Red Bull, which was a pretty big and nice surprise. So we all hung out in there for a while. We snacked, we talked. I did take an impromptu video, just a small interview with all the players, and I'll upload that pretty soon. I'm just debating if I want to edit or add things to the video because some parts of it I don't really like, but I don't know what I'll do with it yet. And at this point, my leg was really starting to take its toll. And I mean really. At this point, it was getting kind of actually difficult to walk. I was limping kind of everywhere. I thought it was probably just because I overexerted myself because it was already hurt. But whatever the cause was, it was definitely really taking its toll around lunchtime. I convinced Ringo, Riera, and a few others to go to Akihabara with me so we can take some videos or just, at the very least, play together for some DDR rounds. Little did I know I would not be able to play, but either way, after a while we all got together. We took the rail line to Akihabara. We walked to the arcade that has 4 DDR machines, which was quite a surprise. Oh, and this would probably be a good time to talk about the white machines. Now, I know a lot of you have been asking me, like, how's the white machine? How's the white machine? I was really surprised. A lot of you were very curious on my opinion about the white machine, so I'll just give you my opinions right now. I have none. No, okay, that's a joke. Well, to be honest, I only played 3 songs on a white machine. I played my warm-up, which was Roppongi version D. I got 1 great and a lot of perfects, and then I got the 2 songs that you saw after that. And those 2 songs make it really hard to judge because I would do bad on them no matter what the machine is if they are my first 2 songs of the day or playing them without a warm-up. So it's kind of hard to judge by looking at the score. But I can tell you this. It has the same lag effects as the black machines, which should be pretty obvious because of the LCD, which is pretty negligible since you can learn how to, a lot of people they prefer playing on a black machine because it has an LCD because they learned how to, adapt their style to that. I still haven't been able to do that quite yet, but it's possible, so keep that in mind. And the other thing to keep in mind would be um, the actual pads. Now, this is where the difference comes in, and this is where everyone is going to be interested. Well, everyone is talking about and interested to know. The pads, they do feel different. They do feel, I would say, more stiff, maybe not as responsive. Just a little, I don't know, I want us to say the words come to my mind are like bulky, um, just doesn't feel very sleek. It doesn't feel very like the black machines. That's the best I can give you. I'm not sure how bad it'll affect performance, and like I said, I only played 3 songs. I'd probably have to play on it a good 2 hours to have a serious opinion. But from what I've seen, I would obviously prefer red and black machine over that if I had to choose at this point. Alright, now that's out of the way. They had 4 machines at the arcade, which was pretty interesting. One white and 3 black. I played 1 round with Riera, and wow, did my leg hurt. My leg is screaming at me, get off, stop playing. Every step I made shook and hurt my body so much. So I played around with him. We didn't play anything hard. But then Ringo insisted on playing around with me. And I knew that I had to play around with him because everyone would want to see that. Because I wanted to try to do another Ringo versus Dr. D video, which I did try doing, but the arcade came over and said, hey, turn off that camera. So, hey, sorry about that. Alright, so, I played another round with Ringo, and my leg was on fire. It hurt so much. But I still just forced myself to play as much as I can. We were playing 16s, 17s, and 18s by the extra stage. I picked May Challenge on 18, which I surprisingly passed with the battery life bar. And after that, I knew I could not play anymore. People kept asking me to play with them, play around. I said, I can't. I really can't. I just had to sit down. And after I was done sitting down and they were done playing, we all went back to the main arcade. This is going to end up being a long video, and I'm kind of surprised. If you're still hanging in there, I just want to say thanks. So, we went back to the arcade where the event was taking place because there was going to be the live show. And we saw the live show, and it was really nice actually. There was soda up there, and all of everyone else's favorites. And they played a great, interesting show. They had some interesting remixes, and it was a lot of fun to watch. But I was in between standing and sitting during the event because my leg was just absolutely killing me. And 2, my throat was pretty much, my voice was pretty shot at that point. It was sore and hurting, but just a lot of problems. Just wasn't too comfortable. I ran into a couple players that I've met in the past. I ran into Adamax, which was interesting to meet him again. And I also ran into Taka ASK. Some of you know him. He's the best doubles player, hands down, barred none. And it was interesting to see some of them. And I even met this guy from Finland. I'm pretty sure it was Finland. If I'm wrong, I'm sure he'll correct me. And it was interesting. We talked a lot about, he was interested in 2DX. We talked about DDR. And he said that there's some fans from Finland that watched me and they just wanted to say hi. So if you guys are watching this, I just want to say thanks for watching. And I appreciate it. So after that, it was time for dinner, but I just could not think about going to dinner. I'm the kind of person who I know that. No, hold on, let me start that again. I'm a person who does not like going to a hospital. I don't like even getting medicine or taking anything when I'm sick. I only go if I know it's an emergency. If I know something is seriously wrong, I'll go to a hospital. Other than that, I just usually tough it out or just let my body heal on its own time. But this was one of the moments that I felt that, you know what? I think I need to see a doctor. I think that whatever is wrong with my leg is pretty serious. It's not just some bug bite. It's not just some, sore spot. It's something is wrong. And like I said, after the arcade and that, I couldn't even walk properly. I was pretty much limping everywhere I went. So I told the group that I was with, the representatives from Asia, that I think I needed to see a doctor. It's pretty important. I need to see a doctor. Hold on, I'm going to grab a water real quick. Okay, I got my water, and all I got to do is open it like that and take a nice big gulp. Okay, we're back. So where was I? Okay, I'm lost. Oh, I got it. Okay, so I'm not really a big fan of going to a hospital unless it's absolutely necessary. And at that point, I thought, I need to go. So I told them, and I said that, and I even explained to them that I don't like going, and I wouldn't ask if I didn't think it was absolutely necessary. And they pretty much did all they could to convince me not to go. But I kept telling them and explaining my situation and telling them how bad it is and how it's going to affect me. And I knew I wasn't going to be able to get any sleep that night. So eventually they're like, all right, fine. But then at that point it's, around 7 or 8. And guess what? All the hospitals are closed. Unless you go to an emergency room, of course. And we all know how much that's going to cost. But I kept telling them how serious it was and they needed to do something. Even a clinic if they didn't have a hospital available. So then they were working hard and they did do a great job helping me out and actually caring and responding to me. It's just there wasn't anything open. They eventually said, "Okay, we can call an ambulance here and they can take you." And I said, "No way! I don't want to be dragged off in an ambulance. I mean, I don't think it's that terrible. I don't need an ambulance. Just give me a taxi and tell them to take me to the nearest hospital. I'd rather have that." But they didn't know where the nearest hospital is. So they kept working and working, and finally they said, "Hey, guess what? We found a clinic that's still open till 9:30." And I'm like, "Okay, that's great. Let's go to a clinic." So we went to the clinic, and I got in there, and they took my temperature, and I was surprised that I also had a fever as well. So at the fever, well, I had a fever of 38.5, which is just in the 101s, which isn't too bad. And then the doctor finally saw me and I showed them the big thing on my leg. And it looked like this. Actually, I'm not sure if I'm going to put a picture in at that point, and if I don't, I'm sorry. But I'm going to say this right now. For the rest of the video, viewer discretion is advised. If you're a little squeamish or you just ate or whatever, you might not want to at least watch the rest of the video. Just listen to the audio. Because I'm going to show you some of the pictures of what my leg looked like and what the hell happened to me. So my leg was pretty big and pretty red, and the pictures don't even do it that much justice. So I showed it to them, and they were pretty shocked, and they said, "Yeah, that looks pretty bad," but they didn't know what it was, and they couldn't really diagnose me. They said, "We want to run some tests, but we don't know what we can." They didn't say no, we don't know. They said that they didn't have the materials because it was just a clinic. They couldn't take an X-ray or they couldn't get a blood sample. So they just said, "Okay, just take this medicine. Hopefully you'll feel better. If it gets worse, go straight to the hospital." So I went back, tried to go to sleep that night. And of course, it was almost impossible to sleep. And I woke up, which is the last day there, which is Monday. I woke up in a lot of pain, even worse than the day before. I had to pretty much crawl out of bed to go to get my breakfast, and I just had to wait out the time until my flight. And my flight was in the afternoon, and eventually I got there, got on the airplane, sat down, and waited 3.5 hours to get to Taipei. But beforehand, I did make an appointment to a hospital in Taiwan because I knew that I just needed to go straight to a hospital when I got back to Taipei. And I couldn't go to a hospital in Japan on Monday morning because that day was actually a holiday in Japan, so that was out of the question. Okay, so I get to Taipei, and when I stand up right from the airplane, wow, it really hit me. It was super serious. I could barely even stand up and get my energy. I had to ask for help from the person traveling with me just to even get my luggage out and to help me at first to stand up. And I was honestly considering asking someone for a wheelchair because it was just unbelievably difficult to walk. But after a long time, I finally managed to get out of the airport, get a bus to Taipei, and then a taxi to the hospital, where I waited in the waiting room for a while until I finally got to see a real doctor. And you want to know what their reaction was? Shock. Shock again. I showed it to them, and they said this is very serious, and they gave me a diagnosis after doing a couple simple tests. And the diagnosis was cellulitis, and something I never heard of before. But I looked it up, and cellulitis is just pretty much a deep infection under your skin. And they said it was pretty serious in my case, and I waited way too long to see see a doctor at a hospital. So they had to act right away. They had to take me into another room to pop it and drain it, which was quite honestly the most painful thing I've experienced in 2013 so far. The doctor just sat me down, took a big, jagged spear-like needle, and just poked it in, and with both hands just pushed out all the pus, blood, liquid, and other things I'm not even sure I know what they are. And he just pushed it all out, and it was nasty to see and unbelievably painful to feel. And since I also waited too long, they had to give me a straight injection of antibiotics. And what better place than in the butt? Yep, I had to get a shot in the butt, which was also quite painful. So that was my evening my Monday evening in Taiwan. It was not fun. It really was not fun. I won't forget that day for a long time. But at least they put me on the right step to getting better. They had to schedule another appointment with me the following Wednesday, which I just got back from the other night. And pretty much I went to the doctor again. They took a look at it and they drained it some more. They changed up my antibiotics because guess what? After my blood sample came back, it turned out that I had a staph infection. That's wonderful, ain't it? And pretty much my type of staph infection is immune to drugs, which was kind of discomforting to hear. So they had to give me different kinds of drugs, and they had to give me, guess what? Another antibiotic shot right in the ass, which wasn't as bad as the first one. So pretty much it leaves me to now. I'm on like a 2 week recovery period. I'm absolutely not able to play. My leg still hurts, but at least now I'm walking around, and I have a huge gaping hole in my leg, and I'm sure that you've already seen pictures because I'm probably posting the pictures on it right now. So you can have a good look if you want to see it yourself. Alright, so I'm going to pretty much wrap up the video because a half an hour video of me talking seems absolutely ridiculous. And I'm not going to cut this either. I'm way too lazy. Pretty much I'm just going to say thanks for watching, and thanks for everyone who supported me and just wish me to do well, wish me to get better, and it really means a lot to me. And I think at least right now I can say don't worry too much. I'm pretty sure that I'm getting better and I'll eventually be fine. Just last week and the past week have been pretty rough. So thanks for sticking by me, and I hope to get some more videos coming out in the next month. Hopefully some more special videos like top 10s or even other ones that I haven't tried yet. So, okay, I'm going to end this because 30 minutes is way too long to ramble about a little weekend. Alright guys, thanks for watching and have a great day.